All right, that's one thing that sucks balls about Zoom is I can't see live comments and all of that. So anyhow, I had no idea that my fucking mic didn't work the whole time. Ooh. So anyways, I'm gonna try that again. So now that any people can actually hear me, this is fucking I'm so irritated. And let me just do this. Next time somebody needs to just come in here when if I can't if I didn't know my mic's not working, you know? Unbelievable. Yeah. Testing, testing. Yeah, I had no idea that my mic wasn't working. So, and I wasn't able to read the comments to see all the comments saying my mic was muted. Which sucks because I just went through this whole, presentation on the bullshit of um universalism. And anyhow, I was over on Ace Theo's channel, and one of his cronies in the chat suggested that I watch this particular video. Let me see if I can find it. Fuck. I'm so pissed that whole live stream I just did, my mic was muted the whole fucking time. That really just pisses me off. So I'm actually going to do this. I'm going to go to here and this one. It's going to get deleted. Unreal. What up, Jordan?
Hello.
Yeah, I'm pissed because I did a whole live stream and I didn't know my mic was not working the whole time. So, anyhow, I am erasing this pile of shit. What are you up to today?
Got work in about an hour, so I'm gonna be gone.
Nice. What do you do?
Just working at this animal shelter.
Nice. You like animals?
Yeah, I own a cat. I don't own
Nice.
any dogs though. Like you got 22 dogs or something like that.
Sure. No, I just, a lot of people like to abandon their dogs out here because the coyotes will get them. So they figure, like they're doing something nice for coyotes or something, you know? It's pretty fucked up. So yeah, that's where, I wind up with a lot of strays.
Can you hunt in Arizona? You have
Oh
to get a
yeah.
license and all that.
Well, here's the truth of the matter is all of these licenses and shit that we're so-called required to get, they are absolutely unconstitutional. You can't take an unalienable right, turn it into a privilege, and then require a license for it for revenue. You can't make any money off of rights. You can only make money on privileges. So that's the problem that we're having here nowadays. You know what I mean? This is why we need to go back to common law, which equals common sense, which goes all the way back to love your neighbor as yourself. That means don't be an asshole, you know? Be civil with one another. Or as Bill and Ted would say it, be excellent to each other.
I think the global shift of power is going right now because America You know, they always say that America's a God-blessed country and prosperous nation. And then after World War One, we just went down this very dark path in human history in general, but also in
It
America.
was way back before that, buddy.
I would say the major shift happened during Woodrow Wilson when he got into office, and he promised
Oh
for
yeah.
peace. He was all about peace. I think he was a Democrat too, which is ironic. And then
On his deathbed, he even admitted that he sold out his country. Yeah, look up. You know what? Let's look it up. Let me do this. I'm so pissed that that whole thing that I just did on the bullshit of universalism because I went over on to Ace Theo's channel this morning to try to just reason with the fella, and they're fucking retarded, dude. I mean, I don't care if my beliefs aren't logical. Okay, okay. Best of luck with that, buddy. You think God wants you to be delusional and not of sound mind? But anyway, ugh, I'm just irritated by that. I'm all pissed off. Now, what were we just going to look up?
Woodrow Wilson on his deathbed.
Oh, yeah.
Beat, and one day I will die. Heck, one day all of us will die, likely. But the good news is that right now, we're all alive.
All right. Hold on. Let me do this. Oops. What were Woodrow Wilson's last words? Yeah, I got it set on thinking because when I do coding and shit like that too, I am broken piece of machinery when the machinery is broken. Hold on. Didn't Woodrow Wilson confess to selling out his country unknowingly? True, Wilson. What the fuck you two? You fucking asshole. Did Woodrow Wilson confess to selling out his country unknowingly? Who did? Okay, the alleged quote goes something like I have unwittingly ruined my country. A great industrial nation is controlled by its system of credit. We have come to be one of the worst ruled, one of the most completely controlled governments in the civilized world. That passage appears nowhere in Wilson's official writings, letters, or speeches. It is a distorted paraphrase of a section from his 1913 book, The New Freedom, The New World Order, written before the Federal Reserve Act was even passed, which Wilson agreed to sign before he was even elected. What Wilson actually said in The New Freedom, Wilson warned about concentrated corporate and financial power. The great monopoly in this country is the money monopoly. So long as it exists, our old variety and freedom are gone. Of course, because whoever prints the money can sit around and buy shares of stock of any company they want to over long periods of time, and then all of a sudden have controlling shares, right? Would you agree with that, Jordan? That's the
I would
scam.
say
That's what.
the current system that we have is like fascism, where the business and corporations have taken over the entirety of the purchasing power of the middle class and the working class is really what it really is. Because these people don't really work. Have you noticed that people like let's see, like Bill Gates, like for example, the perfect example I want to use is Joseph Biden's son, Hunter Biden, who's on cocaine and hookers and whores, everything you could possibly imagine. And the dude just sits around all day and does nothing. He gets on interviews and talks shit about his father and talks shit about America. Like, it's really disturbing, weird behavior from these different types of people in the elite class.
Sure, absolutely, because they're, I mean, if you grow up with a fucking silver spoon in your mouth, and you're gonna foster that sense of entitlement, and that's exactly the devil. Totally loves to pump egos up, man. That's his gig. That's why when knowledge puffeth up, he takes advantage of that natural trait in humanity. Totally takes advantage of it. That's why you know, I inspired every what does he say in the Devil's Advocate speech? I inspired every since. Hold on, I'm botching it. Let me pull it up here.
America is $36 trillion.
No, I wanted to watch that again. Let's see. Hold on.
Registration of a particular bank and in.
All right. Oh shit. What was I just gonna look up? Dude, I'm having brain problems today. That is not good. It's twice I've been derailed. Shit, now I just forgot what I was gonna fucking look up.
Lives.
Oh, the Devil's Advocate speech.
Now we got to go help people customize and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual. Maybe where's the golf cart?
Actually, being honest with you.
You were right about one thing, Kevin. I have been watching. Couldn't help myself. Watching. Waiting. Holding my breath. But I'm no puppeteer, Kevin. I don't make
He's exactly that.
things happen. Doesn't work like that.
What did you do to Marianne?
Free will. It's like butterfly wings. Once touched, they never get off the ground. No, I only set the stage. You pull your own strings.
What did you do to Marianne?
A gun? In here?
God damn it! What did you do to my wife?
Well, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most depraved act of sexual theater known to man, 1 being your average Friday night run-through at the Lomax's household, I'd say, not to be immodest, Marianne and I got it on at about 7.
Fuck you!
So, you know how Dave always gives me shit for claiming that Satan had sex with Eve?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know why this is any kind of biblical stretch. If the angels can fall and have sex with human women, then why is it absurd to think that Satan, an angel that fell, had sex with a human woman? You know, you know, but they can't explain it to me. We can't even ever talk about it because then Dave will go into his, whole fit of turning it into, oh, so you're saying Satan got his wad and spermed all over, and it's like, dude, you don't have we don't have to go into all of this graphic detail like this. I mean, here's the matter is that Satan set out to defile the image of God right off the bat. He wanted the earth to be full of his image, not God's image. That's the problem we have. This is why every single one of us have a devil inside. We're all naturally born sinners.
Oh, got me! Got me! Yes! Wow! Oh, yeah! Yeah! Step on up, son! Come on, that's good! You gotta hold on to that
Step it
fury!
up, son.
Yeah, that's the last thing to go. That's the final hiding place. It's the final fig leaf.
Who are you?
Who am I? Who are you?
Ah, so many names.
Never lost a case. Why? Why do you think?
Had to puff your
Because you're
ego.
so fucking good.
Yeah,
Yeah?
pump it up.
But why?
Because you're my father.
I'm a little more than that, Kevin. Awfully hot in that courtroom, wasn't it? What's the game plan, Kevin? Was a nice run, Kev. Had to close out someday.
You've seen this whole movie though, right, Jordan?
Yeah.
Okay, so when he does the impression of the little reporter in the living room or in the bathroom and everything, when he's having his little moral dilemma. Had to close out someday.
Nobody wins them all.
What are you?
Oh, I have so many names.
Say,
Call me Dad.
Ugh, the way he even says that and everything too, after the licking of the lips, like, whoo, that just gives you chills right there. Call me Dad. But yeah, I'm just totally out of whack of this idea. Brandon's preaching a doctrine of devils, Dave says. Okay, buddy.
Marianne, she knew it. She knew it. She knew it, so you destroyed her.
You blaming me for Marianne? Oh, I hope you're kidding. Marianne, you could have saved her anytime you liked. All she wanted was love. Hey, you were too busy.
That's a lie.
Marianne in New York? Face it, you started looking to better deal her the minute you got here.
That's not true. You don't know what...
And he was tempted by the redhead that's supposed to be his sister, actually. So, he put the temptation there. But I'm not a puppeteer. Mm-hmm.
we had. You don't know anything about it.
Hey, I'm on your side.
You're a liar!
No, hey, Kevin, there's nothing out there for you. Don't be such a fucking chump. Stop deluding yourself. I told you to take care of your wife. What did I say? The world would understand. Didn't I say that? What did you do?
You know what scares me, John? I leave the case, she gets better, and then I hate her for it.
Remember?
I know what you did. You set me up.
Who told you to pull out all the stops on Mr. Geddes? Who made that choice?
It's entrapment. You set me up.
And more yet.
Right there, he nailed it. It's entrapment. You set me up. And that is exactly what's going on in everything with all of the governments in the world right now. Is it's coercion and entrapment and all of this fucking bullshit of, whenever I file for a fishing license, now I'm signing some fucking it looks like an application for a license, but it has adhesion terms. And when I sign it, I'm signing a contract that has me contracting with the state. And that's the whole, you know what I mean? What you don't want to do right now is contract with this corrupt fucking government. And when we uncontract from them, that's how when you change your status from contracting with them to not contracting with them, then now you have all of your God-given rights back that you exchanged for privileges. But that's the whole thing. And this also reveals, even the devils have to follow this procedure, some type of procedure here. Otherwise, why go to all the trouble? Why all this coercion and secrecy and all this bullshit? You know what I mean? If you could just shove a gun in someone's face and force them to do it. But it's not that way. It has to all be done by free will. So that's why it is the devil is slick as fuck, man. You know what I mean? He should not be underestimated. That's why, you want to remain in God's jurisdiction. You do not want to go playing around in the devil's jurisdiction in delusion and shit. Because this dude will fucking twist your brain up into a pretzel so fast, little human. This is a supernatural being that you're dealing with, that humanity is dealing with, and that's the problem of the world. Is most people don't believe in God, so they don't believe that there's a devil, and that's why they cannot see at all what's going on here in the spiritual world, in the minds of hearts and men. You know what I mean? You there, Jordan?
Yeah, I was just thinking about the Ninth Gate with Johnny Depp and how he had sex with Lilith. You talk about the serpent seed, or rather because there's some things in the Bible that people twist to use it for religious purposes, and they want you to believe that there is naturally, really, in modern day Christianity, you go to a like one of these major mega churches and whatnot, all these 501c3 nonprofits, they'll tell you there is no real Satan or devil. It's actually just you. That's the problem. And so, there is no mastery. There's no spiritual realm. There's no such thing as magic. There's no such thing as devils, demons, and whatnot. I've actually heard
Well, then
pastors say
what?
that before.
Well, then you're going against the doctrine of Christ, because according to Scripture, Jesus was going around and casting out devils. So what is it? So what are you trying to say then? You're trying to tell me that Jesus and the 12 apostles, they were a circus show act? They were a traveling band of magicians? Is that what you're implying? You know what I
That's
mean?
what these people are. I mean, they're saying this stuff all the time, and it's just it's very strange, truly. Like
Sure, of course.
non-denominational type of churches, and they don't believe
Satan,
in.
just so you know, I mean, this will make it a little easier. Satan's religion is witchcraft. In his kingdom, that will be the religion. It will be witchcraft. It's madness. It's darkness. You know what I'm saying? All of it. So yeah, that's why it's all of these different religions and everything. That's why for most of humanity, they're just they're at the buffet of religions, man. And that that good old King James Bibles, it's there, but it's way over in the corner of the buffet, where chances are most people aren't going to find it, because that's all the devil has to accomplish, is to make sure that the human doesn't get born again. That's all he has. That's why you can believe in anything you want to, but the truth, not the word of God. That's what's true. You know what I'm saying? But anything else is fine. As long as you don't get born again, you remain my property. I remain your dad. Call me dad. And this motherfucker in truth hates anything that bears the image of God. That's where his pride, in my opinion, in my interpretation, my little theory is the reason where this pride developed in Lucifer is because God made him more beautiful than any of the angels and all of that. And then the scripture says that Jesus was plain as paper. No special features upon which we will desire him. So he did not look like a supermodel. So that's where Lucifer's like, I'm so much more beautiful than you. Why, I should be God. That's where it came from. You see what I'm getting at?
Yeah, the way how they depict Jesus in the Catholic Church was where we get all these depictions and graven images of him is not accurate at all. He's not this blonde Aryan man with perfect hair and perfect robes. His robes are clean, his hands are clean, and all that stuff is ridiculous. He's wearing new Gucci sandals, I guess, right?
There you go. Do you think Jesus looks like some little half-gay fucking pussy?
No.
I don't. So, let's see. See if I can find it real quick. This is the Jesus that the Bible describes. Does that look anything like the Catholic Jesus, the half-gay hippie Jesus?
Do you get that from Revelations where it says his hair is like wool and his eyes are like
It says
like
that his hair
fire?
is white. Yeah, white like wool. I have to point that out to the Hebrew Israelites that they're using this as a description. They're not trying to say he has a white afro. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. Again, this is the problem, the human condition of this ego problem that we have. You know what I mean? We naturally, do want power and authority and everything. So that's why it's real easy to wind up our egos and let it go. That's why the other speech about Eddie Barzoon in Devil's Advocate says it awesome too. You know what I mean? But Jesus is a warrior king, a man of war. He's not this. You know what I'm saying? This is not Jesus, my friends. This is why we've been told not to make any graven images. Don't do it because you idiots will get it wrong every time. And you're not to have any other God before me. So yeah. Let's see where. Let's let this finish real fast.
The direction you took. Popes, swamis, snake handlers, all feeding at the same trough. Whose ideas were those?
You played me!
Oh, right there, man. What did he just say? Popes, blood, what, swamis? And he says, you put them there. No, that's a lie.
And more yet, the direction you took. Popes, swamis, snake handlers, all feeding at the same trough. Whose ideas were those?
You played me! It was
whose ideas were those, do you think, Jordan?
It was Satan.
Absolutely.
Even in the occult mythology, like Azazel, this demon that's depicted. And it's also talked a little bit about in the Bible too. I think
who Azazel is, though, right? In the Bible, actually. Azazel's in the Bible.
The scapegoat in Leviticus 16?
Yep. You nailed it.
Here's a test, your test! And Colin, knowing he was guilty, seeing those pictures, what did you do? You put that lying bitch on the stand.
You brought me in. You put me there. You made her lie.
I don't do that, Kevin. That day
Sure
on the
does.
subway, what did I say to you? What were my words to you? Maybe it was your time to lose. You didn't think so.
Lose. I don't lose.
That's because I put you up onto a high pedestal, so that now it's gonna hurt to fall down.
I win. I win. I'm a lawyer. That's my job. That's what I do.
I rest my case.
Right there, I rest my case. Because why? He's a persecutor. He's a persecuting attorney. You know what I mean? A prosecuting attorney, I mean. Sorry, I was looking for the... Let's do this is the last part of it.
Let me give you a little inside information about God. God likes to watch. He's a prankster. Think about it. He gives man instincts. He gives you this extraordinary gift, and then what does he do? I swear, for his own amusement, his own private cosmic gag reel, he sets the rules in opposition. It's the goof of all time. Look, but don't touch. Touch, but don't taste. Taste, don't swallow. And while you're jumping from one foot to the next, what is he doing? He's laughing his sick fucking ass off. He's a tight ass. He's a sadist. He's an absentee landlord. Worship that? Never.
Woo, listen to the prosecution building his case. And that's exactly what the world's getting behind. The prosecution, the case that the prosecutor is building. That's why they're gonna love the Man of Sin when he shows up.
Better to reign in hell than serve in heaven. Is that it?
Why not? I'm here on the ground with my nose in it since the whole thing began. I've nurtured every sensation man has been inspired to have.
I've nurtured every sensation that man has been inspired to have. So, right there, revealing a little bit about how inspiration actually works. Little whispers into your thoughts. Hey, that's a good idea. No, turns out it wasn't. That didn't go good for me at all.
I cared about what he wanted, and I never judged him. Why? Because I never rejected him. In spite of all his imperfections, I'm a fan of man. I'm a humanist. Maybe.
Ooh, I'm a humanist. That is exactly his game. That's why there's so many denominations of Christianity that are intermingled with humanism. Well, God is love, so he wouldn't throw people into eternal torment and eternal conscience torment for all of eternity. That's emotional bullshit that you're grabbing onto. It's not going to work.
Be the last humanist. Who in their right mind, Kevin, could possibly deny the 20th century was entirely mine? All of it, Kevin! All of it. Mine. I'm peaking, Kevin. It's my time now.
Actors.
It's my time now. Well, that Bible said so. That's actually true. Let's see if we can find the Eddie Barzoon speech real quick. Oh, this one's a good one too. They'll never see me coming.
Outstanding. Go figure it. A guy like Moyes, living in some subterranean shithole, all the while, he's walking around with $15 million in his bank account.
You're kidding.
Well, what do you think he's paying us in, goat's blood? Hey, Tarzan, we're billing you out at $400 an hour, my friend. I don't see a whole lot of pro bono work in your immediate future.
I figured you came down here to make sure I didn't fuck this up.
Oh, maybe I did. Don't get too cocky, my boy, no matter how good you are. Don't ever let them see you coming. That's the gaff, my friend. You gotta keep yourself small, innocuous. Maybe the little guy. You know, the nerd, the leper, shit-kicking surfer. Look at me. Underestimated from day one. You'd never think I was a master of the universe now, would you? That's your only weakness as far as I can see.
Ooh, I mean, right there, dude. I mean, that is the problem with Christianity today, with the world today. You know, if you don't believe in God, of course, you're not going to believe in the devil. So you're not going to understand this enemy at all. You don't even know you have an enemy. And you know, Satan absolutely despises anything that bears the image of God. So when he's acting like your buddy, that's all he's doing is acting. So, and that's and what I mean by that also is that, you know, anyone that's still his property, he can take possession of his property anytime. So you may think you're talking to Bob, you know, your next door neighbor or whatever, but you know, we don't know who's inside with Bob. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes that's what we need to be conscious of, be aware of. This is, you know, that we're getting into the time period, I believe, where they're not going to remain in hiding anymore. They're coming out more and more gradually, like people have been, you know, what's the word I'm looking, like dumbed down or prepared for it. You know what I'm trying to say, Jordan?
What was that? Because I was in and out in the background. Told you I gotta leave in about 30 minutes. So.
Sure. Yeah. No, as far as like, you know, the mind programming trick that they're pulling to, as we get closer and closer, I would say, because the Bible is very clear that the man of sin will be revealed before the Lord returns. So, you know, this is how they're desensitizing people to it. That's what I mean. To where this, you know, demonic shit right in front of our face, it seems partially normal. You know what I mean?
What's that?
It's the look. That Florida stud thing. What is that? Excuse me, ma'am. Did I leave my boots under your bed?
Never worked a jury didn't have a woman.
Yeah, but you know.
Never worked a jury that didn't have a woman. Why? Because women are more emotional than men. That's why. I hate to break it to you, ladies. You need a man. Where is the Eddie Barzoon? But yeah, I mean, the devil is super duper subtle, dude. You know what I mean? He can appear as the nerdiest, most kind, nice little guy you ever imagined. And just be, you know, the devil in disguise, totally. Eddie Barzoon. But this is very revealing on how he drives human beings.
It's an emergency.
You being drawn to God, or are you being driven by the devil? Because they have opposite techniques.
You look like you could use a drink.
Yes. Yes, thanks.
Eddie Barzoon, Eddie Barzoon. I nursed him through 2 divorces, a cocaine rehab, and a pregnant receptionist. God's creature, right? God's special creature? And I've warned him, Kevin. I've warned him every step of the way. Watching him bounce around like a fucking game, like a wind-up toy, like 250 pounds of self-serving greed on wheels. The next 1,000 years is right around the corner, Kevin, and Eddie Barzoon. Take a good look. Excuse me. Because he's the poster child for the next millennium. These people. It's no mystery where they come from. You sharpen the human appetite to the point where it can split atoms with its desire. You build egos the size of cathedrals, fiber optically connect the world to every eager impulse, grease even the dullest dreams with these dollar green, gold-plated fantasies until every human becomes an aspiring emperor, becomes his own god. And where can you go from there? Hey, wrong way! Yeah. Fuck you! And as we're...
Hey, wrong way. You being your own god. Hey, wrong way. Yeah, they know what they were doing on this movie, dude.
Scrambling from one deal to the next. Who's got his eye on the planet? As the air thickens, the water sours, even the bee's honey takes on the metallic taste of radioactivity. And it just keeps coming, faster and faster. There's no chance to think, to prepare. It's buy futures, sell futures, when there is no future. We got a runaway train, boy. We got a billion Eddie Barzoons all jogging into the future. Every one of them getting ready to fist fuck God's ex-planet, lick their fingers clean as they reach out toward their pristine, kybernetic keyboards to tote up their fucking billable hours. And then it hits home. You gotta pay your own way, Eddie. It's a little...
You don't want Jesus to pay your fine? Well, then you gotta pay your own way, Eddie. You see what I mean? Like this movie right here, they're spitting out so much truth because, well, I saw that in a movie though. So now it makes it fiction, like mentally. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's that kind of psychological warfare trick that these people play.
Absolutely, dude. This is what, studying, watching a lot of documentaries and shit
Oh,
about what
another thing too is like if you watch shows like the Squid Game and the Hunger Games and whatnot, they actually show you exactly what they want to do, and this is a form of demoralization tactic. It's another way of saying that Jesus is not going to come and save you. There's not going to be a rapture. There's not going to be anything
Why do you
in
the
particular.
We Are Charlie shit is another like an emotional scar with a seed of thought. You know what I'm saying? That we are Charlie. So yeah, if you think about speaking up, little Christian, when the Antichrist shows up, this is you're Charlie. We'll kill your fucking ass. Your God ain't gonna be able to protect you. That's the message of we are Charlie. That's why I'm disappointed to even see some of my favorite preachers preaching about we are Charlie. Fuck, dude. That's exactly what they wanted to do. Is get Christians identifying with this. You know what I mean? Being emotionally attached to Charlie's assassination and shit. Which I still think it's worthy of investigation to find out, is this motherfucker still alive? Is this guy hiding out in Valhalla, which is, witness protection program? They'll see him in Valhalla, you know what I mean? Like, dude, how do that's what this is important because this guy did a real good job of appearing to be a Christian. Excellent job. Charlie would be a really good actor in my book. But dude, because there's no way that a born again, Bible believing Christian, someone with the Holy Spirit in them, could ever participate in such deception. So that would mean, Charlie, dude, you are fucking a total devil, man. Wow. That's not good at all. These fuckers ain't playing. Team Evil ain't fucking around, boy. So anyway. But right there is the perfect description of what is actually coming, especially when now children have access to porn at their fingertips, and they're kids. You know what I mean? What kid is gonna, not be interested in tits and ass and stuff, That's just, with natural. We're natural, naturally sexual deviants by nature. So, where did that come from? That's why, when uh Al Pacino right there says, "Call me dad." Wow, I might have inherited some of those traits, and Satan is definitely a sexual deviant. His whole religion of witchcraft is total, one of the main pillars of it is sex and sexual depravity, you know what I mean? That's all, all pleasure and all of that. So, yeah, I don't think it's unrealistic to even the movie Rosemary's Baby. Have you ever seen that one?
Yeah,
Yeah. Witches of Eastwick. You ever seen that one?
I never see
Yeah,
that one, man.
no, that's a pretty good one with Jack Nicholson playing the devil. That's a good one. So yeah, man, that's where it's and why is it always, making a deal with the devil? How many movies are about, making a deal with the devil in some way? And this is where it's, and then it's not a coincidence because God is offering a covenant with mankind. Contract. You're going to contract with God, or are you going to contract with the devil? You're going to contract with God as far as our nation is concerned, or are you going to contract with the devil? We're going to be one nation under God, or are we going to be one nation under the almighty dollar bill? What's it going to be? We're going to be a bunch of fucking bunch of little fevered egos running around, greed on wheels. You know what I mean? Where, the only thing that is my God is, living in the moment, enjoying the now. You know what I'm saying? All of it, all for my pleasure. What feels good, what makes me happy. I'm living in the moment, man. Well, you're getting set up, sucker, to fall into
I
a
don't really
horrible.
see it that way particularly. It's the layers of deception and delusion. Like you look at Dante's Inferno, the ninth circle of hell, the demons are sitting there just chattering and like a schizophrenic. It's kind of like a logical and irrational from the very beginning anyway, because you look at Satan, he's going against God, and this is the grand authority. You're trying to overthrow heaven. It's pretty insane to do that, right? But these people, they don't necessarily
Absolutely.
think that way. They just think that they're doing the right thing. People always like to believe that they're doing the right thing, even if they're doing something extremely evil.
Well, that's I mean, that's where the Bible even, Jesus even says himself, here is the condemnation that men do evil and they don't want to come to the light so that their evil deeds will be shown. They won't be a secret anymore. When people that pursue truth want to come to the light because they want their evil to be shown so that we can correct it. But this is why I'm saying too, one of Satan's greatest weapons is shame. That's the whole point of the whole Illuminati satanic fucking order is, they do this by why you got to go through all these rites and initiations and all this shit because we're leading you up to doing something so wicked and depraved that if anybody ever found out about it, you would rather die than face that embarrassment. That's his
Yeah, it's
move.
that blackmail, like you see what happened with P. Diddy and Jeffrey Epstein. And even to a certain degree, Ronald Reagan before he got shot. Anyway, JFK, he was having sex with Marilyn Monroe. No American would vote for him if they knew about that outright. And then Bill Clinton, he had that whole scandal, the sex scandal, getting a blowjob in the White House with Monica Lewinsky.
Yep. Well, that's I mean, that's just men are that way. But yeah, as far as But yeah, that's the kind of lawlessness that we cannot afford to have in politics, in the in running a nation. That's why I believe, that America is that place prepared in the wild, wild west, in the wilderness, for the bride during the last 3.5 years of the tribulation. When shit gets real bad, we're kind of camped out. We're having us a big family reunion. You know what I mean? Uh, we don't have all of the luxuries that we were weakened with any longer. And now, you have actual community at this time of people that love each other and defend each other.
You don't think there'll be FEMA camps like what Alex Jones says? They're going to be like ICE troops trying to arrest American citizens.
I
Natural.
think that unless America stands up before 2030, because they're telling us they've made a public decree. This is how the kingdoms of darkness versus the kingdom of light. This is why they've got to get everybody to do this by their own free will. That's why they're using coercion and entrapment as a means to accomplish it. So, because somehow it's got to be done by your own free will. That's why, I really think any religion that removes free will from the equation, you're creating a whole lot of doctrinal errors and leaving yourself defenseless against the devil. You know what I mean? This guy is cunning. He's subtle. Bible says he's wiser than the prophet Daniel. He's not. No human beings any intellectual match for Satan. Straight up, you don't want to fuck with that guy. That's why you're safe when you just obey God. Then they have no jurisdiction over you. They have no way to fuck with you. If they violate God's borderline, then the Bible says the archangel Michael will come and whoop their ass. You know what I'm saying? So that's there's those Bible verses where it talks about let me just pull it up actually so I don't botch it. KJV, when Paul describes being describes being delayed by Satan. There it is. 1 Thessalonians 2:18. But brethren, be taken from you a short time and present. Wherefore we would have come unto you, even I, Paul, once again, but Satan hindered us. For what is our hope, our joy, our or crowning of rejoicing? Are not even ye in the presence of the Lord Jesus Christ that is coming? No, that's not the one I was thinking of. Hold on. Hmm. Let me go. No. Oh, whoops. I put Satan. Fight Satan. Hmm. Say King of Tyre. Hmm. Where was it in the Bible where Paul was delayed and Michael the archangel had to come and fight the devil or the principality? Yeah, I'll leave it there. There it is. That's the one I was thinking of for sure. All right. Daniel 10:2-13. In those days, I, Daniel, was mourning 3 weeks. Oh, wait, was mourning 3 full weeks. I ate no pleasant bread, neither came flesh nor wine in my mouth, neither did I anoint myself at all till 3 whole weeks were fulfilled. And in the 24th day of the first month, as I was by the side of the great river which is Hiddekel, then I lift up my eyes and looked, and behold, a certain man clothed in linen, whose loins were girded with fine gold of Uphaz. His body also was like the beryl, and his face as the appearance of lightning, and his eyes of lamps of fire, and his arms and feet like the color to polished brass, and the voice of his words like the voice of a multitude. And I, Daniel, alone saw the vision, for the men that were with me saw not the vision, but a great quaking fell upon them, so that they fled to hide themselves. Therefore I was left alone and saw this great vision, and there remained no strength in me, for my comeliness was turned in me into corruption, and I retained no strength. He like wilted up in the Lord's presence. Yet heard I Yet heard I the voice of his words, and when I heard the voice of his words, then was I in a deep sleep on my face, and my face toward the ground. And behold, an hand touched me, which set me upon my knees, and upon the palms of my hands. And he said unto me, O Daniel, a man greatly beloved, understand the words that I speak unto thee, and stand upright. For unto thee am I now sent. And when he had spoken this word unto me, I stood trembling. Then said he unto me, Fear not, Daniel, for from this day that thou didst set thine heart to understand and to chasten thyself before thy God, thy words were heard, and I come for thy words. But the prince of the kingdom of Persia withstood me, not the king of Persia, but the principality of the kingdom of Persia. Can you still hear me, Jordan? Uh-oh, because I got a little notice that I got a weird internet connection or something. Can you still hear me, Jordan? All right. But the prince of the kingdom of Persia withstood me 1 and 20 days. But lo, Michael, one of the chief princes, other principality, came to help me, and I remained there with the kings of Persia. Now I am come to make thee understand what shall befall thy people in the latter days. For yet the vision is for many days. And when he had spoken such words unto me, I set my face toward the ground and became dumb, couldn't even speak. And behold, one like the similitude of the sons of men touched my lips. Then I opened my mouth and spake and said unto him that stood before me, O my Lord, by the vision my sorrows are turned upon me, and I have retained no strength. For how can the servant of this my Lord talk with this my Lord? Hold on. For how can the servant of this my Lord talk with this my Lord? For as for me, straightway there remained no strength in me, neither is there breath left in me. Then there came again and touched me one like the appearance of a man, and he strengthened me, and said, O man greatly beloved, fear not. Peace be unto thee. Be strong, yea, be strong. And when he had spoken unto me, I was strengthened, and said, Let my Lord speak, for thou hast strengthened me. Then said he, Knowest thou wherefore I come unto thee? And now will I return to fight with the prince of Persia, principality of Persia, and when I am gone forth, lo, the prince of Grecia shall come. So these are different border areas that it's describing, these different principalities and stuff. They have different jurisdictions. So, anyways. All right. Did you leave us, Jordan? Because I probably ought to get to work myself. I'm totally bummed that my whole presentation on the universalism shit didn't have my mic on, dude. The mic was muted the whole time. That's such a bummer. So, anyway. Alrighty, I'm going to end it. I'm going to do some work. I'll do another universal deal maybe later. So, hope you have a good day at work if you can hear me, Jordan. Let me see if this is even working. Do some work. I'll do another universal deal. All right, well. Why don't you ever come in here, Numi? What's the deal? So Phantom X, of course it's a movie, but this is what, I'm trying to point out is that, when I, studying my roots for the Irish name, you know what I'm saying? That's when I discovered that the ancient Druids are my Irish ancestors. And what they were into was all, Gaia worship and trees. They worship trees. And the most magical of all of the trees was the holly tree. And all of their magic wands and staff and their crazy witchcraft shit was all made out of Hollywood. That's where the magic of Hollywood. And see, that's where, people don't understand anything about, the magic of Hollywood and how they're desensitizing an entire population. You know what I mean? This is what's happening here. Where did it go? There we go. So yes, the in now it has a psychological effect of, well, that can't be real because I saw it in a movie. You know what I mean? Even by your own eye, you know what I'm saying? You're saying you're already even agreeing, like, oh, this can't be real because it's in a movie. This is a movie. It doesn't prove anything about reality. That's my exact point. That's why they'll hide truth right in front of your face in movies. They get to plant all kinds of concepts and shit in your brain. through movies and media, like a spiritual medium. That's what I'm trying. That they do have a complete witchcraft system, and the Bible actually reveals witchcraft, sorcerers, necromant, all this stuff is real. Otherwise, why would God condemn it? Why would Jesus be casting devils out of people all over the place if it doesn't happen, if it wasn't real? That's the problem here. So, anyways, yeah, that's the game that's being played. And the reason why I say that too, oh shoot, is that hold on, my dog is driving me nuts. Anyhow, but that is how psychological warfare happens in Auschwitz and everything. When they had human lab rats, they ran all kinds of experiments. They literally totally mapped out the human brain to figure out what areas of the brain are responsible for what. Keep live human beings with their skull removed, and they were plugging electrodes and stuff into people's brains, and seeing what happens when they see this color of light, that color of light, what happens when they listen to this sound and this tone and that frequency. They did all that shit so that they could figure out how to totally they truly know how to program a human brain. Because and all of the things that they described on what they found with all of their experiments absolutely describes television to a T, on how to using lights, sounds, different images that are subliminally in there. They got this down, dude. They ain't playing. And this is what I'm saying. This is why when they put truths in movies, it creates this effect of, well, I saw that in a movie, so it can't be real. That's exactly the point. So, pull that back up. Well, if anybody wants to come on in, you can come on in. Otherwise, I'm going to end the stream and get back to work. See.